How China changed through these 14, 15 years that you were
Oh,
there?
when I first got to China, it was like the Wild West. Like you can, even though the city was quite advanced compared to like even cities in the West in 2009. In North America, probably think China was backwards and things like that or behind, but it wasn't. It had a lot of positive energy, the city, because everybody was getting rich, and
It was the start of this, already middle of this.
It was really just like example. I bought a house there, and
in Shenzhen.
In 2010, and I paid about 4,000 Singapore dollars a square meter around. And
cheap.
Within a month, I was offered double. That's how fast it was growing.
Wow.
And within 3 months, I could sell it for 3 times the price.
Wow.
So it was incremental, and I made my retirement money right there. And it's as much as the Chinese economy is going through its dips right now, Shenzhen's not one of those cities. It's still a quite wealthy city. It's still the high tech city it's the Silicon Valley of China. So.
Yeah, I went there in December. Yeah. It's impressive.
Very impressive. Yeah.
It's like the city of the future.
Yeah, and you see back home people tapping cards or here, and everything's done with a phone, and even sometimes now you can just use your face or your handprint. You can just pay for things. It's quite amazing. I'm a little scared of that kind of stuff. I'm the guy that still has cash in his pocket and pays for everything. But it's nice to have that option if you want to use it.
Is it still bright, the future of China? What do you think?
What they're going through is a little bit what Japan went through. The thing is, Japan was America's friend, or is America's friend and ally. And when their economy was too good, the Americans struck up their dollar, so they were less profitable as an exporting country. Well, China is not America's friend. They're maybe partner, right, in business and stuff like that. I think, but China knows that, U.S. wants to keep supremacy over everything, and I think what's happening in China's economy is U.S.-led. They're being cut off from the U.S. market, and all China has to do is figure out a way to get to the other markets, I think, and I think they'll be all right. And also, they had 40 years, 35 years of going up, and eventually now they're a wealthy nation, no matter what people say. And just like wealthy nations, we go through the 7-year cycles, and I can't see China with all their innovation lagging behind anybody. You can say the state control and all this stuff. I mean, it's worked thus far, and they're not just making plastic toys for 10 cents anymore. They're making, Xiaomi smartwatches that are better than Apple watches. They're making good products. The AI is getting better, although you can't ask certain questions, which is quite funny. But yeah, I think China will be all right. I know there a lot of people say they will surpass the U.S. economically, or they have maybe even now. The U.S. is sadly don't want to say that, but it's dying. It's as an empire, as a.
It's trying now. It's trying to go back.
Yeah, but they're broke. They're broke. They're going to try and let all their friends pay for it, and all their friends are broke too, right? European Union's broke, right? The only Canada's broke. Everybody's broke, right, in the West. So the amount of corruption that people don't realize how much corruption the U.S. and the Western nations have, like stealing money from the taxes. We pay an enormous amount of taxes.
Yeah.
I think in Canada, it's, you made $100,000, you're paying $38,000 in taxes in Ontario, and even higher in Quebec. You don't get $38,000 in service because you're paying for the homeless guy who wants to drink and shoot up fentanyl in the street.
Yeah.
And if you walked on the street and drank a beer, you get a fine, and you're paying the taxes for him to go shoot up clean drugs. What the hell's that? I mean, I understand empathy and sympathy, but throw them on a bus, stick them in a hospital, fix them up, get them out, because they already have the rights to get welfare and unemployment. That's all. They should all get that, and the free Medicare. Other than a shelter, a place to live. So throw them in the hospital, throw them in the. Back in the 80s, they cut all the things and they opened up all the loony bins and sent all the crazies on the street.
Yeah, I think it's very different in countries like Singapore and China. You don't have it.
Yeah.
This kind of stuff.
I will say one thing that China does lack in, like, if people think I'm just pro China or anything, is like, so example, people who are handicapped or mentally challenged or things like that, there's not really a place for them as in China. Like, companies won't hire them, and a lot of times they're being taken care of by their grandmothers or grandfathers, and they don't have like a good life or anything like that. Whereas, like, you know, you come to the West and stuff like, or even Singapore, like, you know, they have facilities, they have the ability to get jobs and things like that. So I think in that sense, that's where China could improve, right? Because there are a lot. Like, I've taught in schools in China where, like, you can tell that, like, this kid has some mental issues, and he's just thrown in a class with 50 kids.
Yeah.
And what happens is, like, he ends up in the class with all the, like, they'll put like the best kids in one class, and then that kid ends up being with, you know, all the delinquents and bad kids.
Yeah.
And all he is just like, he has mentally challenged, or he has ADHD or something like that. You know, it's unfortunate.